Most of us often chase rather pumps than established memes. And a green candle is somehow spoiled for us until it's screenshot. We stare at charts, forgetting it changes nothing. We watch charts, but not ourselves. This is a disaster. For as a result of confusing dopamine hits with actual profit, we are destroying our net worth. We are so tied up in FOMO and charts that we've lost all conviction. Time to wake up. What is alpha? Obviously, nobody can say, because it isn't just drawing lines on charts. It isn't rotation meta, that's just an idea. Alpha is the Giga cycle cannot be explained in words.
The Giga cycle cannot be explained in words. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode, another edition of Giga Motion, episode 13 with Visualize Fitness Winter. Visualize Fitness? Did I fuck that up already?
No, you got it, dude.
I was on a roll, dude. Episode 13, bro. Never second guess yourself. A little less than reluctant to the audience with my boy Cryptic Munch. How we doing today, brother?
Fuck, dude, you got that part right? You never get that part right. I'm good, man. Fired up. It's gonna be a good episode. How you doing this fine morning by you?
Fantastic,
you guys, it's sunny. You're in the beach. It's like 45 degrees here. I woke up. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I do live in paradise and I have better abs than you. It's kind of my brand. It's important.
It's part of the gig.
Yeah, great, man. Just getting back from a couple-day trip in Uluwatu on the south of the island. My bro rented this tennis mansion villa. We were getting private tennis lessons, shooting Giga content in the infinity pool full of Ukrainian models. Life's good, man. Life's good, bro. Shout outs to Mad Crypto. Shout outs to my bro, Mad Crypto.
Yeah, dude. Shout out that guy. That's like that. No, those pictures were sick, dude. That
How
was
you doing besides being frozen, pale, and miserable?
Yeah, I know, dude. I gotta go tanning or something. Remember that when everyone was just orange. That was the thing.
Oh, that's like too much melanotan. You just peptide. You know, side effects include being Trump orange with a raging boner all the time. One of the beauties of peptides.
Yeah, I heard about that. Both side effects.
It's awesome, bro. Possible side effects may include greatness.
Love that. Yeah, but I'm good. This is going to be a good episode, fun episode. I feel like it's fitting for the time. Everyone's getting ready for winter, right? So I don't know, maybe just because I'm from the Northeast, everyone bulked in the winter. That was kind of the thing. But most of those people just meant eating like shit, you know. And
you were a dirty bulker for sure. You're the kind of roommate you'd catch with your hands like knuckles deep in the peanut butter at night. Bulking season, bro.
No, I was pretty good, dude. I gotta say, he could be my witness. He was there. No. That was like one thing that always made me mad. It was like, and it kind of validated it when I moved to California after college. It was like, no, you guys this is just an excuse to get fat. Like you guys, you don't even work out different. Most of you like eat like shit and work out this day. That's not bulking. Like that doesn't count. And then when I moved out to California, I realized like no one does. It's like, oh, you guys don't get fat 4 months a year? Losers.
Eat celery and almond butter.
Yeah, and that made me realize that there was a lot of unnecessary dirty bulking where I grew up. But yeah, I think it's important to get strong in the winter. I think that's a thing to focus on strength more than, you know, conditioning in the winter. I think it's, as men, we need to focus on staying strong. Just no one's ever mad about being too strong. You know what I mean?
I'm so strong, dude. My life sucks, bro.
Yeah, so
it
our
would
boy
make sense that people like inherently want to get fat though in the winter, right?
Yeah, for sure.
On food would be a little bit more scarce. You know, it makes sense from an evolutionary perspective. So technically, dirty bulking, that's kind of fighting against your evolution, brother.
Yeah, they definitely weren't going to McDonald's after the gym they went to bulk in the winter. Yeah. But yeah, I'm fired up. All right,
you weren't getting a GMO filet.
Nah, dude, the food thing is a whole other conversation. It's so crazy, man. Like even just it's crazy the amount of shit they put in our food now. And if people would just eat like the basic stuff, how much better they would feel in the winter, especially when you're eating more, you know?
Or like even when you think you're eating healthy, you know, I just came across that study the other day on certain plant proteins, like major brands having up to 10x the recommended daily lead intake. So people think it's like everywhere you look, your food is just getting fucking poisoned. You know, you think you're taking a healthy plant protein and you're getting 10x the amount of heavy metals that the FDA recommends, bro. So if that's what the FDA recommends, like, you know you're getting those heavy metals.
Yeah, that's why I just stick to my eggs. I eat a pretty simple, and my cutlets, dog. You ain't never taking those from me.
Yeah, I know. You've been corrupted by Big Cutlet long ago, brother.
I sold out real early.
The second we got 12 viewers on stream, you cut a deal and sold to Big Cutlet.
To Panko, dude. They got me in the undergrad Panko breadcrumb scene.
Shout outs to the Giga gang in the comments. Potato Chad Max. Ooh, I don't know how to say your name, bro. Ooh. Ilya June, the chosen one. Tim, Griff, Canal. All the boys. We got a banger of an episode today, man.
I froze already. God damn it.
He doesn't know I installed something on his computer, so every so often he just freezes. It's great for me. He hates it as a professional. We'll jump right into it, though, man, because we got our boy VisualizeFitness. Third appearance on the store. Third appearance. Man, come back, bro. I'm falling apart. Third appearance on the stream from this absolute legend, bro. So welcome to the stage, guys. VisualizeFitness.
Yo.
We're going to make Mang sit off stage and think about what he's done. We're going to do this.
Yeah, lights and things in the back. He's falling apart on us.
Yeah,
allowed back on stage.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's not me, it's you. No, I did one today. It didn't happen. It's good. That means I'm just gonna shut the fuck up this whole time.
I love how upset he gets. All the nervous system regulation that we've taught or that we've shared on the stream, it just goes all out the window as soon as this guy fucking freezes one time.
God, just want to kill everyone. Chest. Eric does need the hat. I agree, Griff. We got to get you a hat. He actually got to talk to you after this. Definitely get you affiliate link too.
I don't know. I love
exciting stuff coming out. Some exciting stuff coming up.
There you go.
I love staring at a shiny dome. What are you talking about?
I got a shiny guy. Giant dome too. Big freaking head.
It's funny because everyone that comes on the stream seems to have a massive head, except
yeah, me too.
It is not the computer. My head is just fucking huge.
Mang would kill for a head like that, bro. His head to brow ratio is incredibly disproportionate.
Doesn't make sense. Just doesn't make sense.
That's not a golden ratio, brother.
No, this is not. Yeah, I heard Hop talk about that golden ratio. This is not it, boys.
God forgot about you when he made that head and those eyebrows, brother.
No, it's all right. Can't win them all. And I can't even bulk my head, dude. It doesn't work. I tried.
Growth hormone, dude. Do the Joe Rogan diet. Seen how much that dome's grown?
Yeah. I don't think I got enough money. Whatever. He's taking head medicine, dude.
Yeah, he might be doing it the wrong way. I don't know.
He's got that medicine.
But yeah, I thought today, you got some things going on. What do you plan for the winter for yourself, for your gym, for
For myself personally, I mean, like you said, you kind of touched on it. I mean, up here on the north, in the north, I mean, it's just a matter of now it's kind of that bulking season, right? That everyone looks for. So, even for me, myself, it's just a little bit different. To your point, I don't just sit around and eat McDonald's and fast food and all that stuff all day. There's different ways and stuff that I'll kind of tell you guys about. But it's just a matter of, just lifting super heavy, trying to get myself really, really strong over the winter. I mean, that's always my goal all the time, is to be strong. Like you said, to your point, I mean, what guy doesn't want to be strong? You know what I mean? It's you got to be strong. I mean, it goes back to even, freaking ancestors protecting your family and, hunters and gatherers. You know what I mean? It's just, you got to be strong. It's just built, it's wired within you. So for me personally, it's just constantly attacking the weights, getting after it, eating to recover, to make sure that I'm fueled properly to be able to lift heavy, and continue down that path for myself. And then for my gym, similar things. For most people want to just dive into all that bad food. And my coach, I have a lot of athletes that, for them to hit targets or stuff like that, like their coaches, whether it's a pitching coach or, a coach for football, like they're like, yo, you got to put on 30 pounds in 1 month. And I'm like what? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like 30 pounds. Like, are we juicing? What are we doing? Tell me what we're doing.
That sounds like some serious trend bologna sandwiches.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's not possible if you do it the right way. So, it's doing things the right way, being realistic of how much muscle you can actually pack on in certain periods of time. Obviously, if you're taking exogenous substances and stuff, totally different story. You're obviously able to enhance yourself way more. But if you're doing it natural, it's impossible to put on 30 pounds in 30 days. I mean, it's crazy. That's crazy to even think
What
about.
do you shoot for a winter, for say a guy that's 200 pounds that wants to bulk in the winter? So call it from now to March. So
from now to March, we'll figure like
December, January. So it was like call it like 4 months. Call it 4 months.
4 months. So
call
in like 4 months, depending on, I hate the answer. It depends. It depends on where the person's starting. The person's done nothing. Like he's just a desk jockey and he's like, all right, I'm just coming in, I'm going to lift. And it's the first time ever. He could put on a substantial amount of muscle in that time. And he could put on a substantial amount of weight. I mean, I've seen guys put on 20 plus pounds, they really have in those 4 months. But, people that have a long training age and they've been training for years and they're more on the advanced side. 10 pounds, you know what I mean? Yeah. Something in that's more realistic where they can actually see change and not be fat. That would be kind of like a good goal where it's like, hey, if you can put on 10 pounds here, we're going to be in a nice spot come, cutting season, quote unquote, where you don't have much to lose. You don't want to have all this fluff because then it just becomes, way harder when it comes time for you to cut down and try to look good in a swimsuit or whatever it is that you're looking to do. So you don't want to put on too much too fast. You know what I mean? There's different levers that you have to pull and things that you have to kind of work through, macros and things like that. But
so what do you do to your macros in the winter?
For most people, I think, a good starting point would be like your body weight times like 15 to 17. You know what I mean? So like 200-pound man times 15 to 17. All right. No mathematician unless there's weights on a bar. So one of you guys could number crunch for me if you want, but 200.
So is that calories? That's for a calorie count?
Calories. Yep.
Okay.
So you get your total calories there. If I'm somebody that's sedentary, I would be on the smaller side, on the 15. If I'm someone who's hyperactive, I'm a construction worker, I'm a strength coach and I'm constantly moving, averaging 25,000 steps or whatever it might be, I might be on the higher side on that 17. So you got to kind of plug
3,000 to 3,400.
Yeah. Yep. So usually, and then, if you're someone who has tracked, like arguably a lot of people haven't, but if you are someone that has tracked, a good way to do it is 200 to 500 calories above maintenance. So if your maintenance level is say just 2,000 for a simple number, starting at about 2,200 to 2,500, and then just scaling from there is going to help you, quote unquote, lean bulk. You're not going to put on a massive amount, but we're in a calorie surplus. So calorie surplus is where you want to be if you want to put on muscle mass. That's just how your body works. You want to be in a positive energy balance. Okay. When you're losing weight and you're trying to cut, you're in a slightly negative caloric energy balance. Okay. So you just want to find that surplus. So usually adding 200 to 500 if you're someone that tracks. If you're not someone that tracks, you could simply just start with your body weight, time multiply by 15 to 17, and then start there. And at least you'll have a number that you can try and hit. On that note, I would track. I think everyone should track at least 30 to 90 days just to see where it is that you are, because most people, especially, women on one side will say that they eat like cows and you find out they eat once a day. And then men on one side are like, I eat easy 200 grams of protein, no doubt. And you find out they have
shot.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They're like 60 grams,
I find with women though, like the ones that only eat once a day, like you'll wake up in the middle of the night and all of a sudden a whole cheesecake's gone. You're like, what happened? You know what I mean? Like during the day when everyone's looking, they're like, I'll just have a bite of yours. Like you always have to order twice as much food. And then at night you're like, where did that entire jar of peanut butter go?
Yeah,
they're little squirrels.
Yeah, it's finding that balance. I mean, it's definitely the best way to go about it. As far as protein goes and macros.
Yeah. Do you have grams on protein that you do, like body weight, little above body weight when you're bulking?
Yeah, I think 1 gram per pound is where a good spot for people to start. I like to err on the side of 1.8. If you're someone that lifts a lot, trains a lot, does all that stuff, I think 1.8 is a more fruitful number. That's my opinion personally, that I've seen my athletes and my adults have better success with. But if you're someone that hasn't hit that protein goal, if you're a guy that has that 50, 60 grams of protein and you're looking to hit 150, 160 grams, probably not a good idea to say, all right, I'm just going to go up to 1.8. Start at 1. You know what I mean? Try to get yourself at your body weight at minimum, and then you could start to play around and build around that. As far as carbs go, I like a 1-to-1 ratio or slightly higher with carbs. Now, when people hear carbs during bulking, what's the first thing you think of?
Yeah.
First thing is, you're thinking like, I'm going to go to Wendy's. I'm going to have the fries. I'm going to have any carb that I could possibly, ice cream as a carb. I'm going to eat everything I can. I'm talking whole foods. Yeah. Pizza. You know what I mean? I'm talking whole foods here. I'm talking rice. I'm talking potatoes. I'm talking, wild grains, things like that are actually going to help benefit your body. Whole foods is going to be the way, because look, let's be real. During a bulk, I give you a cookie, maybe 2 cookies, right? You're going to eat a sleeve. You're going to eat the whole fucking sleeve, no doubt. I know I will, right? But if I give you an apple,
I would,
right? Are you going to have 20? You're going to have an apple, and you're going to be like, all right, like,
actually have great apples right now. Honey Crisp, solid.
Apples are fantastic. But you're not going to have the whole thing of apples. It's not
one apple's good. Yeah, it's weird if you eat 2, honestly.
Yeah. And then on the fat side, I toggle that down a little bit. So you don't want to have your carbs and fats be super uber high. It's like I like a nice, decently high carb, and then I kind of go a little bit lower with fats around the maybe 20 to 30% range, somewhere in that ballpark of my daily caloric intake. And then that's kind of where I start. And then I just pull the levers up and down depending on where I am. So, if you start to see your waist get a little bit outside of your chest, you know what I mean? Like probably not going the right way, you know what I mean? But if I'm growing and I'm just kind of, you're going to get a little bit of fat. It's just going to happen. It's okay. But if I'm seeing results and my strength's going up, my energy's high, my digestion's good, I'm sleeping well, you're in a good spot. You know what I mean? That's the best way to go.
You mentioned calorie tracking. What's your favorite kind of method for calorie tracking?
I mean, you have the classic.
It's a pain in the ass, right?
Yeah, look, man, it's for most people, that's usually the biggest pushback, right? Is when we're talking to somebody and you're like, hey man, you're looking to put on weight, how often you want to go to the gym? And they're like, I'll go 5 days, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll drink water. All right, man, I need you to track your calories. And they're like, nah, dude, I don't track calories. I don't do that. You know what I mean? You're like,
kind of gay.
yeah. You're like, whoa, hold on. You just said you were serious. Like, I don't know.
That's some sort of gay. You want me to track my calories?
I kind of tell people like, look,
it does seem super effeminate though, right? When a guy's like, what do you count your calories, bro? Like it does, like.
Oh yeah, it's like a double. It's like what's that, double standard? You know what I mean? Like it just is what it is. I think everyone should do it. But if you're somebody that's like, look, I'm not going to take out my phone and type into my FitnessPal or Chronometer or any of the other ones that are out there, I get it. It's time consuming, and people.
Which one do you use?
I use FitnessPal, Chronometer. I kind of bounce back and forth. You know what I mean? I just mess around. FitnessPal for me, I use majority because a lot of my people use FitnessPal, so I can look at their logs for them and do all that stuff. But there's so many, man. Use the free stuff. That's my biggest advice. Like, people go in and they spend money on these like crazy elaborate like things. They all scan barcodes now. They all of them do that stuff. So you don't have to drive yourself nuts. Get the free thing, especially if you're not going to track more than 4 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But you should definitely track. I mean, if you're not somebody that tracks, the biggest thing is just pen and paper, or use your notes in your iPhone or your whatever other phone you have, your Android. But type it in, because you'll see, dude, from a bird's eye view, just jotting it down, like, wow, I eat nothing. Like, you'll know, like, wow, I'm eating a lot, or I'm not eating anything at all. And you'll see, like, wow, I'm missing protein in every meal. I'm not eating good carbs. I'm not drinking enough water, whatever it might be, so that you can pull on those levers to gain muscle. That's the biggest thing people miss is the nutrition is everything, right? Training is 45 minutes to an hour of a day. You have 23 other hours for recovery, hydration, nutrition, trying to fuel your body up. What are you doing those other 23 hours? That's the biggest thing. That's how you build muscle, is truthfully in the other 23 hours. Recovery, trying to really get your body right. The mobility, I know we touched on that a couple of times before when we were talking about yoga and things like that. Like, that's when the growth and things like that happen, is when the muscles are really repaired and ready to go for bouts of exercise. It's not living in the gym 7 days a week, 5 hours a day. You know what I mean? I don't know who has the time. I know I don't have the time for that. I know you don't have the time for that. You know what I mean?
John's like, I actually do.
Yeah, I'm like, damn it. Every time I talk to him, I feel worse about myself. But but yeah, it's the truth. Most people don't have that amount of time between work or whatever it might be. So you got to find ways that, you attack, the grind. You hit the gym hard, intensity. Everything's got to be intense. Compound lifts are big. That's the biggest thing. Trap bar deadlifts, squats, bench press, dumbbell, like whatever it is that you enjoy, attack that hard. Everything's got to be intense. It can't be, 10-pound dumbbells every time you go to the gym. It's just not, you're not going to build muscle that way, unless you're going to do 2,000 reps with 10 pounds. You know what I mean? Like, and literally do that the whole entire time. It's just not going to happen. Yeah,
I think strength training is one of those things too. People like mix up the two, like with like hypertrophy and strength training. Like, in my experience, it's almost better when you're lifting heavy like that to take some time in between the sets. It's not the same as, because I usually don't work out like that, right? You know what I mean? Like, I'm usually getting after it, doing circuits. It's like, for that strength, it really just comes down to the reps of you doing that. Like, so if you're like doing like this hypertrophy style where you're burning out at like 5 reps, but really if you just took 4 or 5 minutes in between each set, you would actually get like, 30 or 40. Dude, that's how you get stronger. That's kind of like that Russian kettlebell guy's philosophy, Pavel Tsatsouline. Yeah. Like,
everything can work. It's just progressive, right? It's progressive overload. But that can mean a million different things, right? That can mean the actual load you're using, right? We're talking weights and strength training. So that could be, one day I do 100 pounds. The next day I come in, I do 105 and then 110, so on and so forth. Or that could be the flip side, where it's like, you're talking about higher rep ranges, right? 30. The next time I come in, I do 32 with that kettlebell, and then I do 40 with that kettlebell. And all of a sudden your body changes. You're attacking that stimulus for progressive overload. That's the biggest thing. People don't understand. They think it's one or the other. It's both. You could do both. So like, when I do a training program, like, I have one main lift that I'll hit. So say on a push day, just for simplicity, I do a barbell bench press, right? Say I do a barbell bench press, then I'm going to go in and I'm going to hit, chin ups. So now I'm into my body weight stuff, and I'm looking to go maybe to failure. So I'll go 6 to 8, maybe let's say 5 by 5 for the barbell bench press. My second exercise is going to be chin ups, 3 sets to failure. So whether that's 3 for me or 20 for me, I'm going to complete total failure. All right. So that's form failure for anybody listening right now. We don't want to just have crazy body movements to jerking ourselves up to get up to the, our chin over the bar. We want to try to keep the form.
Yeah, no. What do they call those in CrossFit?
The kippings, the kip.
Kipping?
Driving me nuts. Like,
somehow sounds gayer than I thought it would.
So, but yeah, then it'll be chin ups. And then after that, I might do, an Arnold press and lateral raises or something. You know what I mean? Just something. And now I'm getting my 8 to 12 reps or 12 to 15 reps. I like to finish with a finisher where I'm doing band pull downs for my triceps, and I'll do 100 reps in one long set. I'll just try to get 100 reps out. So if I have to stop for a second, take a breath, right back in, I'll bang out 100 reps. There's so many different ways to do it. So it's not like I'm just like strength training. I'm just going to go, okay.
Yeah, you're mixing it together.
5 by 5, and then 5 by 3 to 5. And then it's like, no, I'm mixing. It's a blend. You know what I mean? It's always going to be a blend, at least for me, for my style that I've seen good results with. Like, for instance, I'm 160 pounds I weighed the other day. This is one of the lightest I've been in a long time. And I belt squatted 1,000 pounds. You know what I mean? So it's you could still gain a shit ton of strength and still put on size, but not be this big, bulky, you know, for lack of better words, fat bastard. You know what I mean? You could look and move the part and not eat and feel like shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that cycle of dirty bulking, like so much of it is just excess, right? You're going to continue to go through that up, continue to go through that down, and you're not really getting the results that you actually want.
Yeah,
like the whole point of that bulk is to try to get something substantial.
Yeah,
like, build a base off of, right?
Yeah, exactly, and it's exhausting. I mean, I did powerlifting 2 years ago. Man, Kate will tell you, my wife, you know, she I was snoring in my sleep. I don't snore. I was snoring in my sleep. I was up to 206 pounds. I think I got up to.
That was crazy, dude.
I was eating like, you know, you go to Costco and you get those like microwavable like rices, dude. I would take the sleeve, dump it in the cart, and I'd eat that for snacks daily.
Just like, eating a cup of rice for a snack.
It was nuts, dude. Like, I was like, I'm starving. I'm gonna have this coconut jasmine rice. And like, I'm just like, that was like, you know, it was crazy, dude. I had all sorts of crazy stuff happening. Like, couldn't sleep. I'd have like sleep apnea almost, where I was just like waking myself up. It was nuts. So like, think about that. And I was doing that clean. I was eating rice and like,
yeah, imagine you're eating beef. Yeah, it's a good point.
And like, I was doing that the right way as far as powerlifters go. And I was like, it screwed me up pretty bad. Then to lose all that, I'm down 40 pounds, and it was like a grind, dude, because you're hungry all the time. Like, your hormone levels are all out of whack now. Now I'm like fighting the urge to eat like everything and anything in sight, any place I went. You know what I mean? With kids, you got freaking shit all the time, you know?
Yeah, shit's everywhere.
Oh yeah, dude. So like, I was like crawling out of my skin, you know? But yeah, it's you got to definitely do things the right way. And like Shiny said, you got to kind of get that base, because it's an exhausting cycle. You'll be on that rat race for a long time, forever, you know?
Well, and you'll hear this a lot too, right? Within the kind of the meathead community, that a calorie is a calorie. Just get your macros in. How often did we hear that growing up?
Oh God.
Calories a calorie, bro.
All
Is
all the time. You still hear it.
Calorie a calorie.
Yeah, it's nuts. You still hear it. I mean, look, Whole Foods is always going to be the way to go. I mean, you know, your proteins, your beef, your chicken, your poultry, you know what I mean? Like, that's always going to be the route to go. Your vegetables, all that stuff. And then if you're missing things, you supplement. You know what I mean? If you can't eat, like for me, I can't eat a ton of greens in a day. It kills my stomach. So I have my servings of greens at dinner and lunch, whatever I have, and then I have a greens drink. You know, like that, I supplement to fill the gap. That's all the supplement should do, is fill the gaps. If I can't get my protein, I grab my protein shake. You know what I mean? Like, there's ways to utilize supplements. It's not like people utilize it like a silver bullet. Like people are talking about creatine all over again, as if it's this new thing.
Dude, yeah. What do you think of that? I wanted to ask you that, because we used to take creatine a bunch. I mean, I take it now. I've been taking it again for like a couple of years, I would say.
Yeah.
But I'll mess around and take like 15 grams now, which is hilarious, because we used to just take one scoop.
Yeah. It's like, you know.
Do you take it at all?
Yeah, I take it every day. I mean,
could you imagine a product where the creatine was mixed in with the super greens and it was called Crea Greens?
I'm going to come.
Be pretty solid.
Yeah. Say that's I feel like the market needs that. It might be coming.
But yeah, dude, I mean, it's creatine is, everybody should take it. I mean, it's great for brain health. Like, that's where the new wave is coming, right? The creatine gummies and all that
cognitive
stuff.
function, for sure.
Yeah, so like the studies have been around, man. I mean, forever. The creatine monohydrate's been around literally forever. So like, when someone comes up to me now and they're like, dude, I'm going to try this stuff. And I'm like, oh God, like, what are you talking about? He's like, creatine. I'm like, all right, yeah, all right. Is it going to kill my kidneys? I'm like, no, just take the creatine, and you'll be all right. You'll be okay.
Do you feel like a substantial or tangible difference from creatine? Because I find unless I'm, doing something really cardiovascularly intense, like boxing or fighting, I don't really find much of a difference. Right? Maybe I'm just not training as hard as I actually need to get into that extra surplus. But do you notice a difference?
In my power output, I think in my power output. So like if I'm lifting, and I'm doing more heavy lifts. So if I'm doing like my, big staples of like a deadlift or a squat, bench press, whatever it might be, overhead press, I do feel a little bit better, like as far as my power output. But I don't think that, I don't take creatine and like all of a sudden I'm like, my chest pops and I'm like ready to go into the next bout. You know what I mean? It's people take it like they think it's going to be a silver bullet. It's not, you know what I mean? It's creatine monohydrate. If you eat red meat, you're taking creatine. You know what I mean? So like it's not a crazy, thing that you're taking, not a steroid by any stretch of the imagination.
But it is hard to get those higher amounts just from eating meat. Like I was
100%.
You have to eat kilograms of red meat to actually get in that 5 to 10 grams.
For sure. Like for sure. I think 100%. You should supplement with creatine for sure. I mean, I think that every adult should take it, again, just for cognitive function. If you're not somebody that like uses it and wants to use it for the gym, like at least your brain health is going to be good. I mean, there's studies that, it's helping ward off like dementia and like all that crazy stuff. So at the minimum, you're bulletproofing your brain. So why not? You know what I mean? The other ones I would say would be magnesium. That's a huge one. I mean, I take that around bed every single night. Most people are deficient in magnesium. Vitamin D, especially, Maj brought it up before on the north side over here, we start to
no sun in the winter.
Most people are vitamin D deficient. I mean, you're talking immune health, muscular health, and stuff like that. So vitamin D is huge. Protein, of course, omega-3s and greens. I mean, those are like the big 5 that I would say are most people should take. You know what I mean? The basic fun.
What kind of magnesium are you taking at night? Glycinate?
I take magnesium bisglycinate. Yep. So I take magnesium bisglycinate. You put a little bit in your water, let it dissolve, and swig it down. And you're good to go. I sleep like a baby, but most people are deficient in it. It does help my sleep.
Yeah, we just talked about that a couple episodes ago. We did one on minerals. Man, it's crazy.
Yeah. I think it helps me. I mean, I think it helps tenfold. It helps a lot of my clients out that have trouble sleeping, restless legs, and stuff like that. I think it helps out big time. So those are the ones that I take, religiously, like those 5. And then I dabble with like, pre-workouts and things like that. I don't need them, but I take them because why not? I've taken them forever. They're not the most healthy thing in the world. So, if you don't take them and you don't need them, don't start. But I could down a freaking energy drink right now and probably go to sleep like a baby anyway. But
yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah. So
if you had to pick like a few workouts that you'd recommend everyone do in the winter, just for strength, again, on the basis of you're trying to get strong in the winter, sure. What would you say would be like 3 to 5 exercises that you can't go wrong doing these, center workout around this?
I would center around a workout around just compound lifts. I mean, just to keep it simple. I mean, anything compound, right? So
we're talking squats, deadlifts.
Yeah, have your pushes, right? Have your bench, have your pull, maybe a row, chin up, something like that. Give yourself an overhead press, a squat, deadlift. I'm a huge, and they suck. And if anybody listening likes these, there is a psych ward for you. But I'm a huge Bulgarian split squat fan. I think if you want muscular legs and you want definition and you want power out of your legs, it is one of the single most effective exercises you can do to build your legs. Yes, squatting and all that fun stuff, but there is nothing that hits your legs like a Bulgarian. When you're doing it, it sucks. When you leave the gym and you're done, then you're like, all right, like you could feel like, oh my God, like your glutes, your quads, like everything is just, you feel weak almost. It is one of the biggest bang for your buck leg exercises that you can do for sure. And then changing tempos, in those compounds, like there's so many different ways to go about it, to build up muscle, time under tension alone, right? So it's not just about moving the weight as fast as possible, unless you're trying to be some sort of, you're doing it for athleticism or something like that to be explosive, which you do need. But time under attention. So like slow eccentrics, really 1, 2, 3, counting down. Once the bar hits my chest, boom, push up, hold a second, reset that rep. That time under attention alone is going to really help build up muscle. But compound lifts it's going to be tried and true. It's going to be the way to go.
Love that.
We got a good question from Tim here. Can you cut weight while also gaining strength long term?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking kind of relative body. I mean, it's what I was kind of touching on before is I'm at 160 pounds right now, my trap bar deadlift. And now
How tall are you?
I'm 5'7", short guy, giant head.
Oh, you're a little fella.
but I should have said like 6'4".
Yeah, I was gonna okay, whatever you said, dog. I had your back.
Is there like an edit? Can I edit this? But yeah, I'm 160 pounds now. And my belt squats at 1,000, my trap bar deadlifts at about 5, back up to 570 something the other day. I mean, my lifts are all strong, like as strong as when I was doing my powerlifting and stuff. So it's training through different ranges of motion and then figuring out. That's where a coach really comes in, is where, you're stuck in the hole, say, which in a squat is when you're down on the bottom and you can't get yourself out of the hole, is when you're at that parallel position, you're trying to get yourself back up. So there's different ways to get past that. So once you hit certain plateaus, you have to start to pull different levers to then get past that plateau. You know what I mean? And sometimes you have to put on a little bit of weight, but as far as cutting weight, I mean, some of the leanest that I've ever been was simply lifting heavy, moving weight. And then I still feel, this is my personal opinion, when you're doing a bulk, quote unquote, I like to still do my cardio, my conditioning and stuff like that. So like I'll do like a GPP day, just a general physical preparedness day, where I'm doing, sled pushes, I'm doing sprints on the air bike, I'm doing chin-ups, climbing a rope. I'm doing all different types of things to keep myself athletic and moving and bounding and doing some stuff. So you can definitely still gain a ton of strength and still be lean. I mean, look at a UFC fighter. I mean, they're like the best, version of it. I mean, a guy looks like he's chiseled out of stone, you know what I mean? Not an ounce of fat, but he is strong as shit. You know what I mean? Those are the guys that, that's truly cutting weight and keeping your strength up. You know what I mean? It's very possible. Very, very possible.
What would you say your go-to, because I get asked this a lot and I suck with abs just because I don't really do them like that. Aside from like hanging leg lifts, a lot of the twist stuff I do with kettlebells is abs, Yeah. But what would you say if people have an ab workout? Like what would be a core circuit? Because I know you've always done a ton of stuff for core strength, but I know like for your athletes, for baseball, it was such a big thing. What would you say helps generate the most functional strength for your core?
I mean, kettlebells are great. I think kettlebells are like one of the best functional tools that you could use for everything. I mean, you could do everything with a kettlebell, literally. But I use bands. I'm a big believer in band work. So like Palloff presses, where essentially you're tying a band to a pole, and you
like a Palo. What is it called?
Palloff press. PALLOFF. And
sounds racist, dog.
They're one of the better. It's an anti-rotational exercise. So I'm coming out. I have a band attached to a pole to the side of me. I'm in front and I'm holding the band out, keeping tension throughout my body. So I'm crunched down, athletic stance. I'm holding the band out. So you could go ISO, right? A Palloff press ISO, which is actually harder than you think. Any athlete that I've ever given it to, and I program it for them all, they're like, oh, like I'll go in, I'll do it. I'm like, all right, you're just going to hold it. I'm talking them through it. I'm like, all right, you good? They're like, yeah, I got it. They grab the band. They're like, the first thing they do, they almost like exit stage right. They get yanked.
So do you put it above your head? But what are we talking? Where's the height?
With my belly button.
Like okay, so down at your stomach.
Yeah.
And like we're talking like a 3-inch band. Like, do you know what pound resistance you're working with? Is it like a 60 pounder?
You could go with the reds, the red micro bands, the blues.
So what? Like
usually about like 20 to anywhere from 20 to like 50 pounds in that ballpark.
Oh, okay.
And now with that,
you tie a loop on the pole. You tie a loop
on the pole,
And you're just
holding a few steps out and just hold it in front. So the band's in my hands and I'm just holding out. My arms are totally outstretched straight, core is tight, and I'm really just fighting the urge of the band. So the band's pulling me the opposite way the whole time, and I'm just fighting that urge.
Oh, I get what you're saying. So if I'm holding it here, the pole's over there.
Exactly.
I thought you were just looking at the pole. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is this?
No, no, so it's an anti-rotational exercise.
Yeah, I got you. So the pole's this way. So you're okay.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things like in the world to program. I mean, then, you have your typical staple stuff, V-ups, leg lifts, hanging knee raises, hanging leg lifts.
Hanging leg lifts suck. I do like
so many,
like a dip into pull, like a leg lift
like
that. That shit's
hard. So like I do like
one motion, like pull it all the way through.
There's a lot. And the beauty of strength training when you're lifting and you're trying to get really strong and you're lifting all that weight is you're indirectly hitting your core all the time. So like if I'm squatting, you have to hold that tension, right? It's intra-abdominal pressure. So I'm holding that tension the whole time through that rep, right? I'm not just like soft where if someone punched me in the stomach, like I'm just going to like lose my air and drop out. You know what I mean? Like I'm tense the whole entire time. So tension is key throughout any power lift that you do. So any compound exercise, like you're going to have tension. You don't really have a choice. You know what I mean? It's impossible to lift a heavy weight for whatever that individual can lift without keeping that tension the whole entire time.
Yeah, I got.
Sean, what do you do? Yeah, what do you do aside from rubbing oil on them? What do you do to get those chisel abs?
Oils, dude, like nothing really. It's
just functional.
Well, I find my abs are hit by like I've never really trained abs that much, and I've always had great abs, and it's just the way I train. Like you were saying, Coach, like when you're doing certain things, your abs are always active and engaged. So I don't really find an extra need. I used to do those what are they called? Like those Bruce Lee dragonflies.
Oh yeah.
Where you know those, man? Where you
Yeah,
jump on
it back,
go like that, put your legs straight up in the air, and then hover.
And come down. Oh, dude, that shit's terrible. Yeah.
I mean, any time under tension type thing. Like I might finish a leg day with like 2 minutes of just time under tension. That could be a plank. That could be a side plank for 2 minutes on one side, 2 minutes on the other, or anything. I'm a big carries person. I think everyone should be doing carries, farmers carries, rack carries. There's so many variations of carries, sandbags, odd object carries and stuff. That is going to torch your core. I mean, those will destroy you. If you're lifting, it can't be, just lightweight. I mean, it can, but I'll explain that in a second. But usually you want to grab weights that are tough for you to hold, and you got to really maintain your posture, keep your core tight, and just pace 20 yards, rest, come back 20 yards, and really carries are another really great way to hit your core. They pretty much call it a walking plank. I mean, that's what a carry ends up being. It's what you want to emulate, is that your body's just in a perfect stance and your shoulders are back and everything is nice and tight. But there's another good one. If you're looking for cardio during a bulking period, I've done this a bunch, is I call it the kettlebell mile. Got this from my mentor, Joe DeFranco, where take two 20-pound kettlebells, just walk a mile, don't drop them. Just go, go ahead. See you later. And that's it. So
20s, huh?
Yeah. And just take a walk. And you want to talk about cardio, man, your heart rate by that like half mile-ish, you're fighting like hell to keep those things in your hands. That'll get you. And that's like your low intensity, steady state, which ends up being kind of intense. While you're
I started doing a lot of one-sided carries and lifts because of you.
They're great. Suitcase carries. Yeah, they're fantastic.
Really difficult, kind of like until you try it, underestimated how much more difficult it was. Like I'll take that. I got like a 55 and a 72. That 72 is like a gorilla face.
Yep.
Just go up and down my driveway. It's like, dude, you're like 7 sets in. You're like,
oh yeah, dude, it's fantastic. I mean,
actually, if you throw it up here, like carry it up on your foot, like swing it up onto your chest, carry it up here. Shit's hard, man.
Yeah, I mean, I do it with barbells. Like I'll load 185 to 100, to just figure like 185 pounds, and I'll just front rack carry where I'm holding the barbell and just walking around my gym like a crazy person. But I'll just walk around the gym and just like listen to, I don't know, probably like death metal or it could be like 50 Cent. It could be anything from one extreme to the other. And I just
which way, Western man?
Yeah, I just lock in. Guy, dude, I gotta say, man, a guy I've been crushing out lately. Not even just music is motivational. Is Eric Thomas.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Oh my God, dude. I could throw that guy on and ready to run through a wall.
I mean, I would say he was probably like one of the first guys I heard, that famous one where he tells a story about the kid walking into the ocean.
Yeah, dude.
Like you'll succeed when you want to succeed as much as you want to breathe. And I could just see it. I could see the YouTube video.
Yeah,
you don't want to bench 3 plates more than you want to sleep.
Yeah. I get jacked up listening to that guy, man. I'm like, oh my
God. That guy's great.
But, so
I'm kind of curious, like, obviously a lot of this stuff, if you're a construction worker, a blue collar guy, you're doing a lot of this stuff at your job. So let's say hypothetically, there's probably some blue collar guys listening to this. Shout outs to the tradies. But if you're, doing that all day, I come to you, I'm a blue collar guy. I want to get stronger. I want to get in the gym. Like, are you still doing this stuff in addition to what they're doing at work? Are you switching up the program a little bit? Let's say they're doing something heavy, concrete, construction.
Yeah, I tweak it. So we would train more for longevity. So most of these guys have aches and pains, right? I mean, they're going to have bad knees, their shoulders are going to be bad, torn up, and things like that. So it's a little bit different. They're doing these carries and they're doing all this stuff, carrying giant bags of concrete up and down stairs and, delivering it to where they got to deliver it to. So what I would do is actually start off with more like prehab work. So like if someone has something where I know that they're constantly on their right side and you could see it, their body's kind of all jacked up on one side, I just reverse engineer. I try to prehab their shoulders. I try to get some thoracic mobility going. I try to really tackle all that stuff. Maybe some anchored thoracic stretches where they're sitting with a kettlebell and they're just over the foam roller and just letting their body kind of try to take its natural curvature and stuff. And stretch out those lats and stretch out that serratus and things like that. I try to bring them out of all of that stuff. We still do throws, like they'll still do some sort of a med ball throw or some sort of something. And it depends. If the person is kind of where I want them to be, I'll still carry because I'll keep it where it's not an odd object, where it's a more controlled environment where they're still working on their posture. So like instead of having them do maybe a side, a suitcase carry, maybe I'll just have them simply do a regular farmer's carry, just work on keeping everything and posturally where it's supposed to be. So like I still do it. It might not be all the time. You know what I mean? I think people that are at desk jobs or trainers and things like that, I love carries. I think they're one of the best things in the world for you. But if it's someone who's blue collar and they're just constantly they're like, dude, I carry concrete all day. I don't want to do that. I'm not like, well, carries are on the program. So, we manipulate it in different ways. And I try to change it up a little bit or change up the way that they're carrying and things like that. I might work on their grip strength in of itself. You know what I mean? I might do
those carriers will do that, man. That's like the first.
So like I do plate pinches. Plate pinches are a great one where you just hold a plate just between your fingers here and just try to get as far as you can or hold it as long as you can if you don't have a place to walk. Just hold them. That's a great way. So like sometimes I do that for those guys because their grip starts to kind of go, they got arthritis and things like that. So you kind of reverse engineer based on where the person is, based on where they are.
Yeah. There was a study about that with women actually. And they were able to tell the women with the strongest grip strength lived the longest. It was like a statistically significant correlation. And it was tied to like having grip strength usually means you're picking up heavy things. Like you're picking things up, not even heavy. And the only way to stop osteoporosis is to lift weights. Like there is no medicine to stop it. So they pretty much.
Dude, it's I hate to be that guy, but lifting is the key to longevity, man. It really is. I mean, it's good for your bones. It's to be strong, to have muscle is most people that have the most muscle live the longest. And I'm not talking about like roided out, like Juice says. I'm talking people that are naturally carrying more muscle. They live the longest. That's the truth. I mean, look at any study that's out there. The more, you know what I mean? If you have a ton of fat mass, morbidity is through the roof, right? But when you're lean and you have muscle mass and you carry good muscle, the markers show that you're going to live longer or have a chance. Shouldn't say you will for sure. I mean, walk outside and get struck by a freaking train. I mean, we're talking just longevity of just your life on a normal daily basis. For anybody, I know there's some internet people out there like, well, he said if I have muscle, like if I could jump in front of this car, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna relax for a second.
More peptides, quick. More peptides.
Yeah, exactly. So within reason, right? You're gonna live longer. I mean, it's your chance for disease and things like that go down. The bulking phase is a thing. I mean, you got to put on muscle, and it goes back to what we said when we first started: is what guy doesn't want to be strong, man? I mean,
you see that, Shine?
I saw that. You leaking the link?
I guess. Oh, I did to send it to him. I said, "Don't." Oh, these idiot. That's hilarious. Blue would come on here. He just sent me laughing. But
so I went from Do you want to go first, man?
No. That's really he's such a prick.
I went from bodybuilding for 2 months or something into really training heavy calisthenics. I used to do circus. I used to do a lot of calisthenics. I was a lot lighter before, though. I was maybe 180, 185 pounds. Now I'm sitting between 200, 205. I like to constantly remind Mang of how much bigger I am than him. And I went really hard for a month doing handstand push-ups, doing planche training, doing muscle ups on the rings, and then this is very niche, but doing hand to hand. So people doing handstands in my hands. Experienced a lot of wrist pain.
It's a little niche.
Yeah, that's like Cirque du Soleil.
They're doing handstands in my hands. Oh, that gets me, man. That's great.
And I started experiencing a lot of wrist problems as well as like early onset of tendonitis. Like, what do you think that is? What can I do to kind of adapt that? I took a week off or something to kind of let the inflammation calm down a little bit. But how would you just say, you don't have to be doing hand-to-hand, guys, but in general, someone gets into calisthenics, right? They start experiencing that wrist and elbow pain. Like, how would you approach that as a coach?
Yeah, a lot of it is, like I know you said taking time off and just kind of working through, the inflammation and stuff like that. But a good way to do it is kind of like this is what I do with my baseball players when they have tendonitis and things like that. Is I work through different grip strength and things like that to kind of build muscle, and kind of get some blood flow around the elbows and things like that, and try to induce more blood flow and try to build up muscle around that joint. So now my grip strength and my hands and things like that kind of start to get more blood flow rather than stuck in this position. So like I have a lot of guys that get cranky wrists and elbows when they do a lot of barbell press.
Yeah, barbell for sure. No, I definitely get that too.
It's kind of a similar. What
do you do? So what do you do when that happens? So you're saying like mobility work usually?
Yeah, like I'll have them. So I keep their wrist stacked at that point. So no hand to hands, with other dudes or whatever's going on.
Girls, bro.
Dude, all I keep saying in my head is it's hand to hand. It's a little niche. It's a little niche.
We lay off the hand to hands and then we work on just keeping our wrists stacked. I mean, we just try to. Like if we're doing our presses, like we lay off barbell work, we go dumbbells, and we keep our wrists straight up stacked so that we don't put any more undue stress in that area. That's all. You try to tweak training. That's all.
Oh, that's gonna get me, dude. Do you do raps at all for your guys? I've like barely.
I started doing those raps for my niche practice. It's a lot, right? You have that's a weird motion. All of a sudden, 100 pounds that you're balancing.
Yeah, I can't power when I do power cleans, man. I'm not a power clean guy because I can't get into that position where I can keep my elbows high and get my wrist down. I lay off them unless I'm doing them with like dumbbells or something where I can hoist it up and work through it that way. But yeah, man, it's wraps and belts and all that stuff. It's a good point to bring up is I do when I lift heavier, I'll put a belt on. So if I'm going with like that 600-pound trap bar that I'm chasing right now, I'll throw a belt on because it just helps with the intra-abdominal pressure. So it lets me know that I'm really tight and I'm feeling my body really embrace that belt. So I know that I'm not losing tension. The wrist wraps and stuff, they're great, for that reason. Exactly what Shiny was talking about is keeping my wrist in a better position. So if I'm holding someone, body weight, or I'm doing barbells, heavy work, like I want my wrist to have that extra stability in certain scenarios for sure. And then wrist wraps, like a lot of people, even me, I don't personally use wrist wraps. I never have. It's not my It's not my thing. That being said, I do feel that there is a place if you're looking to put muscle on, the biggest thing is using the wrist wraps so that you don't miss out on the reps, right? So say your goal is 12 reps, you know that you're on chin-ups especially, right? You're doing chin-ups. The first thing to go is usually like your bicep and your grip strength just kind of drop, but your lats are still good. You could still go. The wrist wraps are a great way to, now my grip strength doesn't matter. I can still pull down and I can work through it. So
I felt on deadlifts, they're
good.
Was, like, strap it up on the bar. Like,
I just go chalk. I just go chalk and first. Let my skin fall off and just deal with that. It's a disgusting part of powerlifting.
Well, what do you think though when you start getting that kind of like tendinitis-y feel? Like, is that just inflammation in your elbow? Obviously,
most of the time. Tendinitis is like, by definition, it's inflammation, but it usually is. I mean, most of the time, like, it just happened. I had a couple athletes that were, just getting a little bit of nagging wrist pain. It's more than likely, I mean, they're baseball guys. So a lot of times when they're swinging a bat, they're rotating their wrist. And then on top of that, they're doing barbell work. So they got like a little bit of nagging, like cranky wrist. They stopped doing barbell presses and their wrist pain went away. You know what I mean? So like it's so nuanced. It depends on the person. So I don't want to like diagnose people's injuries per se, but typically that's what it is. It's inflammation. It's just kind of working around it. And that's a good point is people, when they get nagging injuries and stuff, there's usually ways around it. Like find a coach, reach out to me. I'm not going to charge you to help you fix your knee or something like that. Like just shoot me a text and I'll reach out to you guys and I'll help you out. But there's always a way to keep yourself training. People use that as the biggest excuse ever. My wrist hurts. I'm gonna shut it down. I'm like, well, you got legs, right? Like, yeah. I'm like, okay, you got core work, right? Yeah. They're like, yeah. I'm like, you got another arm? They're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, like you could still train. You could still work out. You know what I mean? Like there's ways around it. It's how bad do you want to do it?
My friend got really good. My friend was in the Bahamas and somebody tried to rob him and he ran away in flip-flops. And when he got to a crowd, he was a really fast guy. He had his heavy backpack on, out sprinted this guy, got to this crowd. When he got to the crowd, the guy was so mad he couldn't rob him. He just pushed him. He fell forward, broke all of his toes. So all of the toes on his feet, on both feet, heavy backpack, right? Big guy. All of his toes were broken. So he spent the next few months just getting really good at handstands.
Yeah.
There's always a way.
There's always a way around it. You know what I mean? Like, he can't use his feet really, you know what I mean? But he could do leg extensions. You know what I mean? He could do hamstring curls inside of a machine. He could do adductor and abductors inside of machines. Like there's so many ways around things. It's just, when you're bulking, man, it's got to be intense. Your lift's got to be intense. You have to be intense and you have to push. That's really what it comes down to. Like, how bad do you want to build muscle? You know what I mean? Usually by week 3, people are like, I'll watch Netflix and check out that Ed Gein show and watch him wear people's faces and all that stuff. I don't know if you guys watched that. That was a wild one.
It did. It sounds good though.
It was a wild one. Crazy to know that there was people like that. But people quit. You know what I mean? You can't quit. You know what I mean? You just gotta putting on muscle is hard. Losing weight is hard. Those two things they're hard things. Those are usually what people chase, right? Is I want to put on more muscle and get more definition, or hey, I got to drop weight. I got to lose this gut. They're both hard things. It's just how intensely and how hard are you going to push for it? You know what I mean? So you got to kind of get yourself past that 3-week mark usually. And then people usually start to build up good momentum. But I'd say 3 weeks is the first week. Everyone's excited. Second week, you're still a little bit excited. You're pushing. Third week, you're like, all right, this program's kind of getting old. Like when am I going to get the new program? What am I going to do? It's like, dude, you've done this less than 21 days. Nah. You're talking 10 days you've been working out.
All right. So to summarize it before we wrap it up, basically what you would do for your diet is what you said is 1.8 times your body weight. Is that what
it's body weight times. So if you're looking at bulk, body weight.
Oh yeah. Sorry. That your body weight times 15 times 17 for the calories.
Yep.
For the protein, you said 1.8.
1.8. Yeah. 1 gram. If you're somebody that doesn't track and you're not really sure, and then all of a sudden you find out you're on the lower side, 1 gram. If you're somebody that you're pretty good, you're pretty solid, 1.8. I think 1.8.
And then your carbs are going to be at that same level or a little higher, right?
Yep.
And then your fat's going to be way lower than that, 20 to 30% of your total calories.
Yep.
That would be your diet, and that's to be at a surplus because we're trying to get strong this winter. In terms of the workouts, you said you would stick to your basic compound lifts. You squat, deadlift, bench press. You get a shoulder press in there, you said.
Yep.
And then you gave a couple ab exercises. You could be like Shiny. You could hands in. It's up to you guys.
I'm never gonna live that down. Hey, it's with hot girls.
I would hope so, because or else that is way worse than I thought.
Gay little circus, man.
No. And so those are the two things. And in terms of the reps, you would mix it in. You don't have to just do these slow, low rep, a lot of space out. You mix them in.
Oh yeah,
and
mix everything up.
Think what else? Do you adjust sleep schedule at all when you're lifting heavy? Do you find you need to sleep more?
I end up sleeping better. I mean, your CNS gets taxed pretty hard. So you tend to, when you power lift and you lift something heavy, typically your CNS spikes, right? You feel like you could throw a car, right? And then like 2 hours later, you get the crash where you're like, whoa, like I am gassed. Like you'll get that kind of afternoon feeling. That's kind of where you're going to end up getting a little bit more tired. You know what I mean? Is it like, it's not that extreme. If you're lifting super, super heavy, it could be, but your CNS does get taxed. So I sleep like a baby at night when I'm lifting like this.
Now, have you started any type of bulking season yet? Or a little too early? Do you wait until after Halloween?
I go now. I mean, I like I said, I lift heavy all the time.
Bro.
I mean, I lift heavy now all the time, man. You know what I mean? Like I'm always trying to chase something. Like right now I'm chasing that 600-pound trap bar. So I'm lifting heavy there. But I'm always I always want to have muscle, man. I don't ever want to, I would rather have muscle and deal with, all right, how do I drop weight than be like, oh God, I dropped so much weight that I look sick and now I got to put muscle back on. So like, it's such a more uphill battle, honestly, because it's just so much harder, to do, you know what I mean? It really is. But, I'm always trying to lift weight and trying to, max out and try to build muscle,
And I would say for the people that are like, all right, I could try this, but I am not really going to measure, count my count. Like I'm not going to count them. What would you say would just be like,
bro? You know what I was thinking? Like with AI now, right? You could do what Coach was saying, or just write down all of your stuff for the day. At the end of the day, you can
plug it into GPT or something.
Take a photo of that, plug it into ChatGPT, and you'd instantly.
I bet you're right.
It'll tell you. Yeah, it'll tell you.
Yeah,
it'll even give you a meal based on it. Oh yeah, for sure.
I know you're right. People do that. They make a ChatGPT. You'll tell them like what you want to do, and they'll just rip you out.
Yeah, so there's so many ways. There really is. It's just I would urge people not to just go the dirty route. Like if you're gonna eat a cheat meal, I'm big, like earn it. You know what I mean? Earn it on a leg day when you're doing those Bulgarians. Like, yeah, all right, go ahead. Like have a little extra food and do what you got to do, feed your body because you're going to be starving. But don't like be the guy that's like, I'm bulking. I'm going to have, 10 beers tonight. I'm going to have 20 wings watching the Giants lose. And then I'm going to do, you know what I mean? It's like, even though they have been pretty good, I got to say, man, I'm not going to lie.
Dude,
so
a lot of fun.
Not
the Jets, though.
But, your dad's somewhere punching air. But anyway,
he had so much. He thought they were going to playoffs beginning of the year.
Poor guy, man. Poor guy.
Super sad. Just sad.
But just don't be that guy. You know what I mean? That's like the biggest thing. So compound lifts. And look, anything that anybody that's listening or does listen to this, if you guys need anything, feel free to DM me. Just mention, Shiny or Manj, and I'll help you guys out. I'll direct you guys in a route to go.
And where would that be? On Instagram? What's the handle?
Yeah, Instagram would be the easiest way. VisualizeFitness.li. On Instagram, you can just slide into the DM. I'm sorry, and like I said, just mention Manj or Shiny that you listen to the podcast, and I'll help you guys out, and I'll direct you into the route that you guys want to go.
Bengals beating the Steelers right now, 27-17 in the beginning of the fourth. That's interesting.
My fantasy is crushed.
I don't know how you said that so gay, bro.
That's interesting. They're supposed to suck. Steelers are good. That makes me feel better, though, because the Jets got rid of Aaron Rodgers, and they don't have
Tomlin always wins, man. Tomlin doesn't lose.
I know. It's weird, right?
I don't think he's ever had a losing record.
I believe you're right.
I think it's
a fact. Yeah. Sean, what about you? You got any closing
Oh, did he freeze right at the front?
Oh, my back. Do you have any closing statements aside from your niches?
Besides, I'm never gonna let that down, am I? I'm never gonna financially recover from that niche comment, bro. No, I think it's important what Coach is saying. Like, you know, get out of that mindset of dirty bulking and rebounding. You just get diminished returns. I really don't believe that whole bro science, a calorie is a calorie. Like if you look at it from a holistic approach, you know, there's micronutrients, there's inflammation, there's seed oils, there's all of these other cofactors that play into your health and longevity. So, you know, it depends on if you want to be like, I remember meeting this bodybuilder years ago, just absolutely yoked, right? So what do you do, man? Take a lot of steroids. Like, oh, what do you eat? It's like pizza, ice cream. Like, that guy's probably dead now. So what is your ultimate goal? Because I think I resonate with Eric that my ultimate goal is to be strong for a long time, live a really good life because of my strength, not completely diminish all of my longevity. You know, like everything I'm doing, if you're not doing this in a proper way, if you're not creating those proper systems, it's not sustainable for the long run. So creating those foundations that are going to be sustainable for the long run. So, you know, you can be that ultra marathon runner at 80 years old. Like you can be the you can be the RFK, right?
Yeah, dude. Perfect example. Honestly,
Yeah.
to me, that's a great, that's a guy in his early 70s that looks great, man.
I want to wear jeans for some reason and bench press in my 70s.
Yeah. You know, like I said, man, it's just, you know, exactly your point, man. It's just, you want to be able to do this forever, you know, and training doesn't have to be boring. It could be, you know, anything that you want it to be that's fun and that you enjoy. Yeah. You know, so it could be anything, you know? So, you know, just pick something that you like to do and attack it as hard as you can.
So
you know,
good.
that's the biggest thing.
So
Pick
good.
whatever you like and attack it like crazy and you'll be fine.
Love that. Yeah, appreciate you stopping by, dude. We'll definitely have you back on again soon. We'll check in with you're doing something real fast before you go. Explain. You're kind of doing like an online thing, right?
Yeah. I have a program that I'm putting out starting on Monday called Built Different.
So how does that work?
It's going to be a 4-week program. You're going to get, you know, nutrition. You're going to get nutrition ebooks that give you literally detailed, pretty much exactly what I'm telling you guys now, just how to track your macros, where you got starting points, supplementation, things like that. You get a supplement guide, access to me, obviously, and stuff. I'll look at your stuff. So if you have something where a video, you're doing a bench press and you're like, I don't know if I'm doing this right, send it to me. I'll look at it. We'll review it together. We're doing weekly Zoom calls. Now, this is more of like I don't want it to be like a standard group where it's like, hey, this guy just gave me a PDF and like, I'll do this program and like, oh, he'll give me another one next month. It's more like a brotherhood that I'm trying to make this, where dudes it's all busy dads, busy men that are just trying to live, like Shiny said, like live a long, healthy life and trying to be strong. So they're going to hop on there and weekly, we're just going to hop on a call and they can ask questions, or we could just bullshit about, whatever the hell we're going through and go through. So just a brotherhood of just trying to push each other.
Our community, man.
Yeah,
our community.
We're going to throw up our metrics up there. We're going to have challenges. So like, we're going to throw up, hey, I hit 500 pounds today. Oh, I hit 501. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to have all different types of metrics. And the goal is that I'll be able to dole out, some prizes and stuff. We'll do some like cash prizes and certain things and, just really try to have some fun with it, try to pool money and like, figure stuff out that way, but more have like a brotherhood of guys trying to support each other. Cause I mean, let's be real. The dad bod is a thing now, apparently. So, I'm anti dad bod. So I guess it'll be the anti dad bod.
I think I said this last time, but the dad bod only works if you're Leonardo
rich.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't care about his body at that point.
Yeah,
like
I would say
with the body, bro.
I would have to agree. So it's just a brotherhood of dudes that just want to push each other and get each other strong and freaking jacked. That's it.
Dude, I mean, community, it's funny. Community is just overlooked in so many aspects of life, just how important it is. In particular, when you're working out, especially you get to like a gym, you meet a couple of good guys. Like, yeah, there's something real to that. And speaking of competitions, I was doing push-ups on the stream last week. I had flashbacks to COVID. So I did I forget. I think it was like 460 and it was 460 in 36 minutes. So it was 15 a minute for 20 minutes, and then 10 a minute for 16 minutes. Dude, I was dead. I was dying. It was terrible.
Oh,
but it reminded me of that. But it's like that competition, man.
Hell yeah, we did a 10-minute. How many chin-ups can you get in 10 minutes? We just cranked out as many as there's so many ways you can go about it, but just really pooling together, just a bunch of dudes, just building a brotherhood out of we're going to be strong. We're going to push each other, and we're going to get through whatever it is we're going through. And this is how we're going to do it. And just a guideline of program for them to follow both at home and at the gym and push each other through.
Having that
big emotion right there, dog.
Having that accountability too is such a huge thing, right? Like if you're not accountable to anyone but yourself, then who's going to know if you don't show up today? You will, but if you already have bad habits, maybe you don't really care about that. But all of a sudden, when there's a group and you feel like I'm not only letting myself down, I'm letting my brothers down, like that hits you on a deep evolutionary function. Like you can't let that down. That would mean death.
And that text in the morning when you don't show up, that text,
there's just not a lot, man. There's not a lot of this stuff. Yeah. So it's like we're on a weekly call. If we're all just meeting up on a weekly call on a Wednesday or something, and you got guys ribbing you because you look like shit or you did something or whatever. It's like odds of you cheating and looking like shit are going to be way less. You don't want to get made fun of and, get, ribbed all the time. And I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's all in fun. You know what I mean? It's having fun with it. But like you said, that accountability piece, if I'm seeing you every week and you're asking questions and I'm like, the odds of you slipping are going to be far less because I'm seeing you every single week. You know what I mean? So it's something that I think is important for us as dudes, you know what I mean? To maintain that.
A lot of people are missing that too. Like having good bros that, we're pro fat shaming on this show.
Man to man, I'm pro fat shaming 100%.
It's not even
friend to friend,
right? It's
friend
about
to friend. I'm worth it. Yeah, I think it's necessary.
The people you care about, you hold them to a higher standard, right? That's what you do. Like if you see a friend slipping, that you're not a good friend if you let them to continue to slip. Like being a good friend is, being accountable and stepping up in the times where you have to have that uncomfortable conversation. Like, bro, you're fat as shit. It's time to get to the gym. I care about you, brother.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the truth, man. It's and look, there's people that are okay with it, and that's fine if you're okay with it, whatever. But it's going to affect you or your family or somebody you care about at some point when you're getting bad health markers and things like that back. It's going to hurt somebody at some point. Hopefully not yourself or anybody else. You know what I mean? But I mean, I haven't met anybody that was able to maintain being super heavy forever and not had some sort of a bad health exam or a scare or, something affect them where they couldn't, play a sport or chase their kids or do something around because they were too heavy. You know what I mean? I've never seen it work out. You know what I mean? What's that Louis Simmons line? Weak things break. You know what I mean? It's just, that's the God's honest truth. You know what I mean? It is.
Even Lizzo is losing weight. So it's
Rest in peace, Louis Simmons. But yeah, that was a great episode. Appreciate it, dude.
Thanks for having me, fellas. Always fun. And I'm definitely Shiny keeping that hand-to-hand thing. It's going to be in my
So good.
I'm going to go do it after the stream. I hate you guys.
Oh, that was great. But yeah, E, have a great night, dude. Appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Later, guys.
Later.
Another banger episode, bro. I don't like when you make fun of me about all that hand-to-hand stuff.
I will see that the rest of the night. It was just the way it went down. I couldn't, man. That was great. You go a little niche.
Bro. It's a gift and a curse of being goddamn funny.
Yeah, so good. That was a good one, man. What do you got planned the rest of the weekend?
Nothing. I'm definitely not going to do some hand-to-hand right away.
Yeah, it's fair.
Just a little training, a little bit of work. What about yourself?
Yeah, I'm gonna get after it tomorrow morning. It's too late already. I gotta go to bed. But I'm going to get after it in the morning.
Hearing a lot of excuses.
No, it's almost 11. I'm going to go to bed.
All right,
I'm going to go to bed.
Yeah. Episode, guys. Thank you for tuning in. This has been Giga Motion. Stay Giga, motherfuckers.
Stay Giga.
Peace.
Most of us often chase rather pumps than established memes. And a green candle is somehow spoiled for us until it's screenshot. We stare at charts, forgetting it changes nothing. We watch charts, but not ourselves. This is a disaster. For as a result of confusing dopamine hits with actual profit, we are destroying our net worth. We are so tied up in FOMO and charts that we've lost all conviction. Time to wake up. What is alpha? Obviously, nobody can say, because it isn't just drawing lines on charts. It isn't rotation meta, that's just an idea. Alpha is the Giga cycle cannot be explained in words.